There we go. Welcome. We've got an interesting week coming up. An interesting last few days with Call of Duty arriving on GeForce Now, plus GTA 6 probably being announced tomorrow. There is a lot to be talking about, a lot to cover. Welcome to the show. I think it's time to roll the credits, don't you?
It's the Monday Game Chat with your host, Clive Illenden.
Yes, yokoso. Arigata gozaimasu. I hope you are good. I hope you are world. I hope you are world. I hope you are the world. I also hope you are well. And yes, as Jerome says, feel like time is frozen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is because OBS has been playing up all day and then has a new safe mode. But I realize if you open in safe mode, a lot of the plugins don't work, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, we will crack on. So I can't use my Stream Deck. Can't be pressing the buttons. I have to do it manually. Terrible. The countdown clock won't work, but we push on. You deserve a show. I'm going to give you a show, ladies and gentlemen, as ever. And as ever, you are very much part of the show. So let me know what games you've been playing. Put it in the chat and we can look at that. I always like to see what games people have been playing. As ever, in the house, we've got Jerome. Always great to see Jerome. Jerome popped in to see me playing Call of Duty DMZ over on, Lord Kensal playing Call of Duty Warzone on GeForce Now. More on that later, but very, very impressive. Have you played it? Of course, you can play Warzone. It's free. Just get the Steam version and you're good and all of that. And yes, please feel free to watch the commercials. It all helps with a bit of beer money, doesn't it? Hey, Fabi, how are you? Good to see you in the house. Always welcome. I am indeed good. I've been busy today, actually. One of the things I've been doing is, I like to review technology, gaming tech. Check these out. These, I'm just making a video. I've been making a video on these, but they're so good. These are the Fifine Ampligame H9 gaming headset. Yeah. And I tell you what, it's so good for the price. Yeah. So good for the price. I bought two. Yeah. They come in white. They do a black one and they do a pink one as well. The pink one was sold out. But yeah, the white one looks quite nice, doesn't it? Like, very stylish. Do you think? It's got a little smiley face. You can see there. Quite cute, really. But not too garish, not kind of flashing RGBs or anything like that. But incredible value for money. I picked up one of those pairs for 31 quid, £31. And yet the sound and audio is like some of my... I've got a whole collection of headsets here, like the Logitech G here. I've got a Steel Series here. I've got some Razer over here. All sorts. I think that's the... And I've got Xbox one over there. But the sound of these 31, you can pick it up on Amazon for about 45 quid, but I got it. I got one of them direct from the Chinese site or their global site for 31 quid. And the sound quality is as good, if not better, than those branded gaming headsets that I've just talked about. It's at least, I'd say the audio quality is at least what you'd expect from an 80 to £100 plus gaming headset. And the mic quality I did a little test today, blew me away. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've been testing it out. One of the games I've been testing it out on was Alan Wake 2, which I went back to, having finished Starfield. I think I've mentioned this before. Having finished Starfield, finally. Do you finish Starfield? I don't know. Anyway, I went back and I'm playing through Starfield again, and I'm trying to do a few things differently. One of them is not accidentally destroy the medical ship that I'm not meant to destroy, and I got into a lot of trouble for doing it. But I'm trying to take the different path decisions, the different pathway decision making that the game offers you. And of course, the beauty is if you complete the game, as it were, or complete the main story campaign, is that whizzing through the game again is you can do it really quickly. And so it's quite interesting to go back, do some things I didn't do, make some decisions I didn't, make, and all of that. So that's what I'm doing on Starfield. And there's something quite sort of relaxing about it. And we'll come on that because there was some criticisms of Starfield, and the developers themselves, even though they're a mega corporation developer, responded to some of that criticism on Steam. And we'll come to that, actually. But the other thing, as I said, I went back to Alan Wake 2, partly to test out these lovely... They're so lightweight as well. They're really light, so there's no strain on the old headset. Look out for that review. It's coming out on Wednesday on my main channel, on this channel. Anyway, I was testing out Alan Wake 2, and it just so happens I got to the bit. I don't want to... if you've not played Alan Wake 2, there's an interesting bit in there that involves some music. That's all I'll say. It's quite fun. But in Alan Wake 2, there is a backstory about an old rock band. I'm not really giving any spoilers here, but there's an old rock band in it. And interestingly enough, that rock band is playing at the Game Awards. I'm going to go to the... Well, I can't press my button, can I? Okay. So talking of the Game Awards, well, I'll come to that in a minute, but talking of the Game Awards as well, Microsoft is telling Xbox Game Pass subscribers to watch the Game Awards on Thursday. So we've got the Game Awards this week, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, apparently, according to Xbox, you should be watching. Are they going to shadow drop a game on Xbox Game Pass? Why are they pointing us towards the Game Awards? What reveal are they going to do? I mean, interestingly enough, they shadow dropped Remnant and Remnant 2 on Xbox Game Pass last week. So what is it they're going to announce, I wonder, at the Game Awards on the 7th? When is the 7th? 5th, 6th, 7th? Thursday, yeah. On Thursday. Interestingly. Indeed, Hazard of Life, Clive. Hazard of Life. Can't type. Fabi is good. That's good to know there. Gooski, it sounds like fun. Indeed, it does. Anyway, so yeah, Game Awards coming up this week. Lots around that, but interestingly, yeah, what are they going to reveal on, in particular relating to Game Pass? What's the big, the big secret, as it were, that they're planning there? So we'll be, of course, I keep going to press the button. We will, of course, be looking into all of that. Where is the... yeah. Okay, talking Alan Wake. That's what I was talking about. Here we go. The Alan Wake bit. Again, I can't... So, yeah, there's some interesting music. No spoilers, but there's a bit of music in there and a bit of a backstory about a band, a rock band, heavy metal band called Old Gods of Asgard. Their music plays in Alan Wake 2, and there's a big scene involving them. But look, they're playing at the Game Awards. I quite like. I'm not a heavy metal, heavy rock fan, but actually, the music in Alan Wake related to this, the Old Gods of Asgard, the band, this fictional band, is quite good, and they shall be playing at the Game Awards. Have you played Alan Wake, and do you know what I'm talking about when I say about the musical edition within the game? But anyway, yeah, look out for that. Old Gods of Asgard, the band from Alan Wake 2, will be playing live at the Game Awards this Thursday. Interesting stuff. Microsoft crazy bring finally Call of Duty in GeForce Now, but the game had problems. So, yeah, I think there were some initial problems for some people, although in terms of getting sort of temporary bans and stuff, but they've resolved that. I was checking on the GeForce Now Discord, and they were reporting to the ambassadors, GeForce Now ambassadors, that's been resolved. It was only a handful of accounts, but which is bad enough. But often that's what makes the headlines. Just a handful of accounts. I played it, or Lord Kensal played it over the weekend, and it was fine. I had a few problems with the controller, but I've had that before when I played via Boosteroid on Call of Duty. It didn't recognize my controller, and it was a bit annoying. Like, I could use the controller to navigate everything. In fact, I could use the controller when I'm actually in the game, except for aiming, which is the whole blooming point. And it said, no controller, just a mouse. But anyway, I sorted it after looking at various YouTube videos. I sorted it and it was fine. And I played a bit of Call of Duty Warzone DMZ, which is a game I particularly like playing on there. And it was really, really good. So the interesting thing about that Call of Duty, why don't we just go to, here we are. So yeah, members can squad up in the first Activision games streaming on GeForce Now, including Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, and Call of Duty Warzone. Now, the interesting thing that struck me is we weren't, to be honest, myself included, most people, I would say, or imagine most people assumed, there were people going, where's Call of Duty? Where's, we want is Call of Duty on GeForce Now? Well, it is now. You've got your Call of Duty, yeah? There's no big games on GeForce Now. It's all spamware. It's all rubbish. Well, you've got your Call of Duty now. You cannot take that from GeForce Now. They've got one of the biggest games in existence on GeForce Now. But the interesting thing is that I assumed it would come to GeForce Now via the Xbox relationship. Now, I know they've entered a relationship with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard once that deal was done. But in a way, you would have thought the first way to access Call of Duty in the cloud, like officially, would be through Microsoft, through the Xbox deal. Considering Xbox just spent $70 billion on Activision Blizzard. And yet the first official iteration, I say official because it is available on Boosteroid in a kind of roundabout way, but the first official iteration, sort of international cloud version of Call of Duty, comes via the Steam version, comes via GeForce Now. And ironically, of course, GeForce Now is the better place to play it as opposed to playing it on xCloud, if and when, well, it will come, when it's expected to come in January, in the early new year, in early 2024. That is what we was told. That is what we were told, that we wouldn't see Call of Duty on Xbox Game Pass until early next year. And here we've got it on GeForce Now via the Steam version already. I just think that's quite interesting Very interesting. And I wonder what else it will lead to. Suarez says here, Clive, here's a question. Why do you think PUBG not... I've no idea why PUBG is not available on GFN, Game Pass or Luna, and it's free to play. It doesn't make any sense to me, Suarez. There's no logic to me. You're right. It's free to play, so why wouldn't you make it available? Like, you're not losing any sale. Not that you'd be losing any sales anyway, but people, some publishers are sort of nervous about releasing it. But you're not losing any sales. It's all gain for you. You're reaching more players. I'd love PUBG on GeForce Now. I like playing PUBG. But when I see someone like Dr. Disrespect play it, he's playing it with everything turned up to the max. And, I'd love to be able to do that on GeForce Now Ultimate and have, PUBG at its sort of the best quality. I've no idea. So it's a bit of a weird one, that. As I said, there's no rhyme or reason that PUBG should not be available on GeForce Now. But, there you go. There are others like F1 Franchise not being available on cloud, but was on Stadia. Yeah. And that was, originally, that was a deal, I think, that Stadia did with Codemasters, as opposed to EA. And then Codemasters was bought by EA, so became part of EA. And I think the problem is EA. I think EA are reluctant to have too many games available on GeForce Now. The odd game here and there, they're happy to, to let go. And maybe an older version of F1 they might do. But the reason it was on Stadia is I think Stadia did a deal directly with Codemasters before it was purchased by EA. Because the deal Stadia did with EA was for 5 games. Basically, 2 lots of FIFA, 2 lots of Madden. Was it 1 lot of Madden? And Jedi Fallen. I think that's how it worked out. So yeah, that's interesting though. It is interesting. Anyway, that is massive news. Call of Duty. My videos, is anybody interested in GeForce Now? Sometimes I think, my channel is all about, has been about cloud gaming and tech and all of that. And yet, when I do a GeForce Now video, I might get 300, 400 views. I tell you what, the GeForce Now, Call of Duty coming to GeForce Now meant that video is nearly 1,000. I've had nearly 1,000 views on my GeForce Now news summary roundup. That is how big. So you can tell anecdotally how significant it is that Call of Duty it comes to GeForce Now, and how it will move the needle in terms of people who will try GeForce Now, because the interest that my normal weekly GeForce Now news video got more than twice as many views as it normally gets, which is great. In fact, I've had a bit of a fantastic week. Last week I published my review of the Oculus Quest, not the Oculus Quest, the Meta Quest 3. Check out. I'm sure you must have checked it out. If not, check it out. That's had nearly 10,000 views in the space of less than a week. It's one of my best performing videos of all time in terms of speed of views. I felt like a proper YouTuber for once, just seeing the viewing figures spin round at such a rapid rate. It was quite interesting. Anyway, so yeah, that and the GeForce Now news. It's quite a busy week for my YouTube channel last week in terms of views and stuff. But it's not all about Call of Duty. And it's not, of course, it's not just Call of Duty. They'll be adding more from the Call of Duty franchise. They've got their own. What I like is they've added their own Call of Duty HQ. And in that, currently, you get Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Warzone, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And they're going to be adding the other Call of Duty titles over the next few weeks, as I understand it, or the next kind of month or so. But as I said, in terms of GeForce Now news, look at this. This was at the end. This is based. Yeah, a lot of them would come out. Actually, the beginning of December. This is the way the news fell, sort of on the Thursday, and then the 1st of December was a Friday. But yeah, 65 games. 65 games coming to GeForce Now in December. Standouts. I mean, is there, other than Call of Duty, there's a few interesting ones. If you don't, Formula One. How about MotoGP? Windows Edition. I was just trying to think. Control. Via Xbox. Just looking through this for interesting titles. Metro Exodus on the Xbox. Terminator Dark Fate. Another Warhammer title, War Z Aftermath on the Xbox. So lots and lots of titles there. No, maybe not anything that, Destroy All Humans on Xbox there. Disgaea 4, Complete Plus. Some interesting games, but other than, I guess, Call of Duty, nothing really jumps out at me. Gangs of Sherwood this week. I know a lot of people were looking for that. And SteamWorld Build is a popular game as well. So, yeah, a big range of games coming to GeForce Now over the next few weeks. But, yeah, the most dominant thing on there, Call of Duty, ladies and gentlemen. And I must admit, I am enjoy playing it on GeForce Now. Crank up everything to the max and enjoy all the fun of the fair, as it were. Just whizzing through the news here. So, PlayStation news, ladies and gentlemen. How about a bit of PlayStation? I'm all about Xbox and stuff. But there's a free PlayStation Plus online multiplayer weekend for PS4 and PS5. Access to online gaming will be offered without charge from December the 9th to the 10th. Sony Interactive Entertainment announced its latest free PlayStation Plus online multiplayer weekend. Online multiplayer modes for PS4 and PS5 games will be accessible without PlayStation Plus subscription over the weekend. So I can't imagine why you wouldn't have a PlayStation Plus if you can't play multiplayer games without it. But if you don't, you can participate over the next weekend, December the 9th to December the 10th. So there we are, PlayStation Plus fans, or people who aren't PlayStation Plus fans but want to give it a go. Free access from next weekend. Oh, today it's Fabi, I see what you mean. It's interesting you say that, Fabi, because today Nvidia uninstalled Call of Duty to fix errors, but not fix, I don't know. See, you're right. Somebody posted a comment on my YouTube video saying, well, it was a bit cryptic, but I think they were saying it had gone. So now that makes sense. Yeah, he said it's something like it's gone off, or let's go, or it's gone. What was the comment? Anyway, and I was one of these people put comments in a way, they write it in a way you think you trying to, as though you might understand what they're trying to say sometimes. They don't really make sense. But now what you've just said there makes sense. I didn't realise. Let me check while we're here, actually. Because it's funny, because it must have happened after I checked Discord. Let's see I'm just checking on... Okay, so earlier, now that was, okay, there's no update from GeForce Now. Let me just see see the chat. I'm just checking on the chat for you. That's odd. Yeah, okay. I was just checking on the chat there. It's odd. It's not. I don't see it on the in the Discord, in the ambassador Discord. Them saying that what's up with the Call of Duty. Anyway, hopefully they get it fixed, whatever the problem is. Because that's, annoying. I enjoyed playing it. Evening, Neil J. I missed you there. Sorry, sir. Yeah, everybody hit the likes. I like it. YouTube likes it. And it helps people like you find content like this, remember? That's what we're all about. Yeah, that's what we're all about. Right. Sticking with NVIDIA. You can see in the GeForce Now service status. Ah, right, good. I wondered, yeah, but sometimes what happens is in the GeForce Now Ambassador Discord, they usually give us the lowdown on what's happening and why and stuff like that. And I was hoping I could share it with you, but there's nothing forthcoming, really. I'm sure it'll pop up a bit later because lots of people will have questions without a shadow of a doubt. But thank you for raising it, and so we could share it. Right. NVIDIA has hit an important milestone with its RTX techs, available in more than 500 games and applications. RTX 40 series owners and GeForce Now Ultimate users are enabling RTX or DLSS more than 95% of the time in some of the biggest RTX games, ray tracing games. Alan Wake, 99%. Alan Wake looks amazing with everything cranked up. It's such a good game. It's such an interesting game. Cyberpunk looks amazing. Diablo 4, I don't know. Minecraft, I've not tried it with the RTX on. And Naraka, 98%. 87 million hours of RTX games played each week. People are loving the fact that you could, flick on RTX. I must admit, playing games on GeForce Now Ultimate and seeing games, how the developers, and I've talked about this about GeForce Now, one of the great selling points of GeForce Now is it allows people to experience the games almost in the way the developers imagine them, yeah, or is optimal for the developer. The developer creates a game and, the techie part of that developer wants to really showcase what it can do by showing off fantastic graphics and all of that. And RTX allows them to do that. But of course, not everybody has a 4080. Yeah. But the beauty of GeForce Now is, with GeForce Now Ultimate, you can try without having to have a 4080 or a massive gaming rig or anything like that. You can experience these incredible games like Alan Wake 2 and Cyberpunk with RTX on, high fidelity, the works, and really experience that game how the developer would love you to experience that game, which is like why it sort of bugs me. Why don't publishers and developers take advantage of GeForce Now Ultimate to be able to showcase their games to a wider range of people who don't have RTX 40 series? Loads and loads of people have, perfectly adequate gaming PCs. My son's gaming PC finally got repaired thanks to my local IT shop. They rebuilt it for us, and it's going very well. And yeah, for most purposes, it's great. but not everybody has, and most people probably game like that. It's probably only a small minority that have the 40 series, RTX 40 series. So to be able to show your game off to people who don't have access, don't have a gaming rig with an 4080 series in it, that's the power of GeForce Now. Imagine NVIDIA would pay Rockstar for bringing... Imagine that. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? GTA 6. It's going to be very exciting tomorrow. We're going to see that trailer. Got some news on that. Not only that, sorry, on the... just while we carry on that RTX news. Look, 500 RTX games and apps. Over 500 games featuring RTX. Been optimized with RTX in mind. That's incredible. It's been over 5 years since NVIDIA launched its RTX 20 series GPUs back in 2018. There were a lot of promises made about how ray tracing would become the next big thing for graphics. Also, DLSS. Fast forward today, and many of the best graphic cards, and indeed NVIDIA RTX models, 2 generations from the original, with a lot of changes for good measure. And there's a list of over 500 games and apps. So it's not just games, there are apps as well that feature RTX. Quite a milestone, I would say. Quite a milestone indeed. I'll just delete some of my things. Been some Division news. The Division 3 leaks. Ubisoft have confirmed a third Division game, and there are compelling reasons why the Division 3 makes sense for the publisher. And in this article, in Covert Voice, they break down why we might see Division 3 I'm trying to think if they've got a date here. In the next couple of years, well, in the next year or so. But talking of the Division, Division Heartland, which is a game I am particularly looking forward to. I'm trying to find the link now. Yes, here it is. Bingo, got it. Division Heartland, so a free-to-play, has been rated. It got a Taiwanese, I think it was a Taiwanese rating, suggesting an early 2024 release. So, a long time coming. It's a sort of battle royale type game. So I'm looking forward to this. The Division Heartland. We could be seeing it as early as 2024 because it was rated, as I said, for, I think it was for Taiwan. What about X-Defiant, this person says? Indeed. They keep, polishing X-Defiance and all of that. NVIDIA have an advanced database. NVIDIA can install so much games, so many games indeed. They can. Neil J's been on the dark side playing PlayStation game Horizon, albeit on Boostroid. Well, that's all right. We support Boostroid. Caseball, how are you? He's curious. He's curious. As I said, on Game Pass, they dropped here a shadow drop. They dropped Remnant and Remnant 2 onto Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, which means it should be coming to GeForce Now. But that was a bit of a shadow drop. So you think if that's the shadow drop they did last week, what's the big announcement they've got coming up at the Game Awards? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Skull and Bones here. I don't want to click on Skull and Bones. What is it? Skull and Bones will be available, according to Inled. Yeah, I'll believe it. Skull and Bones, release date, February 2024. Yeah. Scheduled. It's got a release date. This has been, Skull and Bones has been stop, start, delayed, rumoured to be cancelled, started again so many times. I will believe it when I see it. Oh, now that's an interesting one. Yes, they said early next year. So maybe it's like a trailer for when Activision gets its own little section on Game Pass. That's a decent call. That is a decent call, especially considering, as I was saying earlier, why is it that GeForce Now is the one that gets Call of Duty on its cloud gaming service before Xbox themselves, who own the company? And I'm not sure it's necessarily to do with competition rules or anything like that. It's just, it sounds like that's an Activision deal, almost. Activision going, well, the Steam one's ready, and Xbox going, no, we want to make a big announcement. We don't want to drip feed these Activision games. We're going to make a big announcement, and we'll go, hey, look, here are all these Activision Blizzard games on Xbox. Boom, there you go, on Xbox Game Pass. And so held back on Call of Duty, whilst GeForce Now probably went, no, we're happy with GeForce Now, and we're happy with getting drip fed Activision Blizzard games. Whereas maybe Xbox want to make a big announcement about it all, and that could be this Thursday. I love your thinking there, Case Ball. I love the thinking. So yeah, it is rumoured Rockstar plans, this is some notes I made here. You can see my notes. But I lost the source. But GTA 6 trailer announcement. Rockstar Games plans to reveal the first trailer of GTA 6, which will be 91 seconds long. So not a teaser, not one of these annoying teaser trailers. There should be some substance in it at 91 seconds long tomorrow. I tell you, the world is going to be, as I said before, this is going to be one of the biggest entertainment events, not gaming events, entertainment events of all time. This game will sell gazillions without a doubt. Anyway, tomorrow, are you excited about it? Let me know down in the comments and all of that. Exciting times. Exciting times. Now, interesting. So I'm going to say, I like Starfield. Let me know, have you played Starfield? And do you think it's boring? What do you like about it if you have played it? What don't you like about it? And all of that. Let me know in the comments, and then we'll have a little conversation here about Bethesda responding to Starfield's Steam reviews directly. You know, all the moany gamers on Steam, oh, I don't like it. Tomorrow, so many people wait for the premiere GTA 6, another level. I think Rockstar will, yeah. Fabi, I agree. They'll make a billion. They will make $1 billion for it. Day one, possibly. You know, that would be, it will break records, not just gaming records. It will break entertainment records. It will do more business on day one than the biggest film. I'm sure of it. Gaming brings in more than the film industry. And it's games like this. I mean, you think they're going to be selling it. They'll be selling it at a premium, 60 quid, maybe $70. Yeah. It sells 10 million. That's $700 million. Boom. Yeah. So 20 million, that's $1 billion. $1.4 billion in a day. So it's possible. Remember, Ubisoft have the rights to the UK. Rumour has Ubisoft gave Microsoft permission to drop Steam version. Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that obviously they have that advantage. It's down to, you're right, Caseball, it's down to Ubisoft to say. And so, nobody could stop them from doing it if Ubisoft are, you say, are controlling that aspect of it. But what I'm saying is, equally, Xbox, are perhaps not rushing it because they want to make a big song and dance about all the Activision Blizzard titles coming to Game Pass, or a plan for it. Even if they do drip feed them, it'll be like every month we're going to release a massive Activision Blizzard title. This is our release rate. I think they want to make a big song and dance about it. Whereas you say Ubisoft could just give the permission to GeForce Now. Here we are, Activision Blizzard title. There you go, in the cloud. You've got the Steam version. Flick the switch. We're happy with that. It's all good. Playing like a dragon. Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Very good. The Last of Us Part 1 remake. Activision Blizzard changed the ULA in the last few days to allow all their games to be available for any device or platform in Europe. Interesting. I think, actually what you say there, Caseball, about Game Pass is a good shout. I think it could be Activision Blizzard related. Anyway, so it seems, I like Starfield. I like the music. I like the story. There are some factions of the story which are more interesting than others. I particularly like being a pirate. Actually, I tell you what, I also like being working for the corporation as well. And as I said, I like going back. I like going back and playing the story through again and making different life decisions, taking different decision pathways, as I said. But it seems here, Bethesda Softworks stunned Steam users earlier this week when players discovered that Starfield developers were actively replying to negative reviews. We know some people can be harsh or negative, but it seems this is, nothing new. Developers have responded to, reviews and criticism on Steam, not just Bethesda. It says here, Gloomwood and Dusk developer Dylan Rogers said, we've been doing this for a few years now. A lot of people will flip their review if you reach out and let them know you're working on the issue or helping them resolve a bug. It makes a big difference when it comes to the algorithm. While the Fallout studio is somewhat of an outlier when it comes to replying to reviews in the AAA space, it's far from the only developer to participate in this level of community engagement. It's so popular that it takes only a few clicks to find studios of all sizes replying to negative and positive reviews of their own. Each do it for their own reasons. Jasper Cole of Blackpack Hero says, our team will respond to reviews. We also had the publisher respond to a few reviews. I like this here. Somebody reviewed this, not recommended. This game stole my wife. 2 out of 5 stars. Will improve the rating if you please let me see my kids, Sheila. And they replied here, we don't have your family. If you only reason to believe that something bad has happened to your family, please report to local authorities. Steam Review is not the best place to seek help out for such issues. We're keeping our fingers crossed that everything turns out. Thank you for the 2 out of the 5 stars, whatever that means. Here we are. Here's a review. Satisfactory. Too addictive. What was the score? I didn't give it a score. Anyway, the developer replied, sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Developer says, we're not going to tell people their opinion is wrong. I would. But if they lie and say the game did X and that's not true, then we got to step in. Quite right. You know, people make up BS or they, you know, or some sort of stupid thing that's maybe it's not for them, whatever. And that's fine. But I think you need to provide context with your criticism or review. You might say, I don't like Starfield because it's, you know, there's too much to do in it. Yeah. Well, that's fine, and that's a valid criticism. But you need to put in, you know, I like a game that holds me by the hand, and there's, you know, I'm not distracted by too many extra tasks or side quests. Other people might say, I love having gazillion side quests that I can go and back, and, you know, even if it's like fetching a crate of beer for somebody. You know, there's a thing in Starfield, you meet some bod, and, you know, you got to go and get a crate of beer, or there's a woman making a cocktail and she's missing an ingredient and she's got to go and get the ingredient. Yeah, there's so many levels to it. And then the next level, you're partaking in a massive pirate starfight or, you know, stealth warfare or whatever it is. I kind of like that variety in Steam. In Starfield. But let me, you know, I think developers should jump on and respond to criticism, you know, get involved, especially on a platform like Steam. Why not? Why not indeed? Right. Let me know if there's any other kind of news stories that you think I should be addressing. I'm just going to check something quickly for you all. We've got a Tom Warren post. Dodgy. Okay. Has the GTA 6 trailer been launched already? Been leaked, sorry. Has it been leaked? Do you want to see a leak? It's bad quality, but it has been rumored, and obviously by BTC across the thing. That's all you're getting. It's bad quality, but it looks like, according to there we are. Too late, Internet Games. I gave you a little. There wasn't enough there to really kind of get a sense. It's got a big label. Anyway, Tom Warren posted this saying, "Is this the GTA 6 trailer? It certainly looks legit. It has to be real. I don't believe it. They've never made a CGI trailer. I don't think it is a CGI trailer. I think it's in-game. It has to be the real trailer. If it's fake, it's a good one. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's legit more than likely. Kind of looks meh, to be honest. There we are. Typical Darren. Yeah, you know, the biggest hyped game. You're going to have people go, meh, meh. What are they expecting? Like the game to come out the screen and punch you in the face? I've always kind of had a distinct dislike for kind of pessimism for this, for attention-seeking purposes. You know, everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to see the new, you know, Batman movie, the new Marvel movie. It's going to be fantastic, great, whatever. Nah, probably be crap. Probably crap. And, you know, they might be right, but it's just like, don't be negative or pessimistic for the sake of being cool or trying to be cool, because you don't look cool. You look like a DICK. Yeah? Try to be a bit more optimistic. And then if it's rubbish, it's rubbish. But be honest if it's rubbish. If it's fair, it's fair. But don't diss it before you've kind of seen it, or be ready with your, like, you know what I mean? Like people have like a pre-made response. Doesn't matter what happens. They're ready to go not to like it. They're already in that mindset. Do you work at night? Hey, man, I work at night. I work in the day. I work 24 hours, mate. That's what I'm doing. It's like 22:41. I'm in the UK, yeah. That's why. This is my hobby, you know. I love your name there. Is it ooh? Or oh? Double O. Avatar looks and plays really well. Of course, yes. Is that Pandora? I've seen a few adverts for it, but like I would have thought it'd be much more hyped. Do you know, is it worth I'm gonna say Case Ball, you get the advantage of having played a sneaky version of it. Not out here until the 7th. Gonna say, I didn't think it was out. I know you though. Sure. Yeah, buy BTC. Yeah, Bitcoin. Talking of Bitcoin, tell you what, Bitcoin's gone through the roof. If you're into Bitcoin, I'm just going to check my Bitcoin. But it broke through, if you're interested in Bitcoin. I'm going to share with you anyway. Yeah. It's calmed down a bit. It went. I'm trying to see what the price was, but it shot through. It's been around like between 30 and 35,000, right? Approximately. It hit 40 odd something today. It's crazy. I'm working right now in the UK. Oh my God, working nights. Nightmare, Neil. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Yeah, of course. Like, I would have thought there'd been more hype around this. I remember when they first announced it, there was more hype. Like 18 months ago or whatever. It might be worth me subscribing to Ubisoft Plus for a month just to give it a go. I might do that. Let me know if that's, you know, your approach, whether you're going to do that. Water looks amazing in Avatar, yeah. I'll come back to it. Yeah, no, we'll watch it, yeah. Pessimism sells. Damn, I didn't know I have a bit of ETH. Yeah. Bit of I cashed out on my one of my Bitcoin investments. And then I was going to reinvest, but because of changes in UK law, I can't do it, which is annoying. But I've kept I've got a dollar cost average trading bot, which basically just stays in line with the, you know, it buys when it drops and then it sells when it goes high, and constantly doing that, and it averages it out basically. So you get a reasonable return, a safe investment on it, because it just basically follows the price, and it's doing all right. I mean, we're not talking gazillions. I'm not a Bitcoin millionaire or anything like that. It's just a bit of fun. Yeah, I put in a little bit of money in June, and yeah, I just like watching it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Bitcoin or anything like that, but you know, I'd like to share a bit of hobbies that I do and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a busy old week, isn't it? We've got Avatar Frontiers of Pandora releasing on Friday, I think it is. We've got the 3 days, Thursday, Friday. And then we've got the Game Awards with some big reveals around, you know, Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. I'm not that bothered about who wins what. It's so subjective in terms of the Game Awards. And, you know, not everybody necessarily has a PlayStation or whatever. So I only have I have a slightly more narrow sample of the games. But I'm interested to see if there's any big reveals and trailers And of course, talking of big reveals and trailers, tomorrow we see, officially, I'm not going to look at that trailer that's out there. Can't really see much of it. It's really poor quality. And like Internet of Games, I'm going to wait for the big reveal tomorrow. And I hope you all do as well. I hope you all enjoy it. I hope it reaches your expectation and all of that. Anyway, there we go. Bit of a bitty show today. I apologise. But there you go. Sometimes it is. Not everything was working tickety-boo today, but we muddled through as ever, as we always do. And as ever, I also really, really appreciate everybody who came here live and watched the show. It's always much appreciated. Even when we don't have massive news and stuff like that. Obviously, the audiences, the viewership changes if I have big news. But I try to do something weekly. I was busy last week. I couldn't. I had work. I had to go in the office the following day. And it always, I'm always the adrenaline's always pumping after I do a show. So I can't sleep for a while, which doesn't bode well for me getting up in time to go to work or catch the train to go to work. So I'd rather work from home. But I had to go in last week. So that was annoying. But normally, yeah, even if there's not loads of news, I like to do a show. I like to engage with you lot. I hope you lot like engaging back and enjoying the show. And all of those who don't get to watch it live for whatever reason, that's cool. I appreciate that. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. Yeah, I try to do this on a weekly basis when I can. It's just a casual, laid back, have a chat about all the gaming news, share some opinions, share some of your opinions. And hey, you get a show. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Enjoy all the big gaming announcements this week. And I'll see you same time, same place next week. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the Monday Game Chat with your host, Clive Illenden. Don't forget to hit the likes, subscribe, and consider becoming a member. Hit the join button today.